Over the years, TV viewers have feasted on a diet of faintly ridiculous local stories.
I've already done Scotland and London. There's no limit to this.
And if this is your sort of telly, 2013's an exciting year, because the first of a new batch of local channels is being launched. The stations will serve individual towns and cities. Is that a new idea? Not exactly. This is Sheffield. And in the 1970s, it had its own dedicated television channel called Sheffield Cable Vision. Launched in August 1973, it was one of 5 granted experimental licenses to see whether ultra-local TV would work. Staffed largely by enthusiastic amateurs, parts of its schedule were very odd indeed.
Today we will continue with our regular feature articles probing into the occult and other devious subjects which may be of interest to you, the viewer.
Malc Waring and Alan Biggs worked on the channel.
I presented a programme called Hullabaloo, a children's programme.
And if anybody, well, would you like to tell them the...
Well, my home address is Eckington Cemetery.
I was sport.
Alan, how does it feel now to be back in the Wednesday side?
Happy, but relieved.
We'd go out and broadcast Speedway. We would do football.
I took them to the station's old studios, which are now student flats. Why was Sheffield chosen for this?
It already had a cable network. People who were living in the lower areas of Sheffield, for technical reasons, they couldn't get a TV signal in those days on a TV aerial. We served a fifth of the city's population, 100,000 people in those days.
It was pretty much make it up as you go along.
Well, unfortunately, we've just missed the final of the best turned out horse and rider.
It was a caper every day. On some occasions, the camera's actually sagging on their stand as you're presenting, so you're having to almost sink down to stay at the level of the camera. That was routine.
But amidst the collapsing cameras, the station covered serious issues.
The time has come now. I'm afraid you'll have to go. We have accommodation for you.
Most strikingly, when their journalists managed to capture on camera the forcible eviction of a family from their council home. So this was tough local journalism.
It gave people a voice that they didn't have.
It was television by the people, for the people.
And the people paid 11 pence a week. They got a real mixed bag of entertainment. Russ Abbott did it just like that.
Now this'll kill you.
Eurovision winners, Brotherhood of Man, displayed harmonies and fine mullet hairstyles. And in the 70s, it was still okay to ogle beauty queens in swimsuits. Local advertising raised some money.
A girl's best friend. £50 off top-quality sewing machines.
But after 3 years, the station had closed. There simply wasn't enough money to keep it going. And now, few people remember its glory days. But today, for one day only, we're presenting the good people of Sheffield with a reminder of the bold but failed experiment. Among them is David Watkins. As a teenager in the 70s, he was a keen viewer.
Enjoyed watching it, yeah, because you're watching people who were around the corner as opposed to people that were in sort of, you know, Leeds or Manchester.
Miles away.
Miles away, absolutely.
Yeah. Good evening, viewers, and hello again, motorists. Well, here's another report compiled by the AA on roadworks in and around the Sheffield area.
And they were actually up all night getting the muck off them, so they did very well to come forth.
Yeah.
Fair enough, the time has come now. I'm afraid you'll have to go. We have accommodation for you.
You couldn't have filmed that anywhere else. It definitely felt like it came out of Sheffield.
I thought it was really interesting to see Sheffield as it used to be. It makes me feel old.
Clearly, Cablevision was of its time. But those behind the new channel, Sheffield Live, which launches next year, are convinced 21st century Sheffielders still want to know what's going on down their street.
We did some research before we actually went for the licence, and that was coming up again and again, was that people wanted to have local news and local current affairs being covered on the station.
I really enjoyed the old footage. It was rough, funny and charming. But the new Sheffield TV station will have its work cut out. Because in 40 years, we've come a long way from skateboarding ducks.